Hi, friends. Welcome. So my name is Nancy Boler. It's nice to see you today. So, this is the class of yoga and deep relaxation. Um, Possibly some of you have been here before, been to this class. Um, Lately, on these our live stream classes, we've welcomed people to kind of check in if you want to say hello on the chat and just welcome, just knowing that we are practicing together, that there's a little group of us that have taken time out of our day to um, probably find a room in your house to uh, do this formal practice. So, in this class, we do some movement, and in a way, this is just for our in the big picture, like for our well-being, that moving our bodies, doing movement, breathing is the start of starting to kind of let go. So just in general, this even this wish that we have for being free of tension. So this freedom means that we have to practice letting go. And we understand that this can be really hard to do. Um, so we start by doing some movement, some yoga, and then we move into our deep relaxation. So you will need to have some things, or you probably want some things around you when we do our deep relaxation. You will want probably some blankets, or you just want to be really comfortable when you set up for the relaxation because you'll be laying on the floor for about a half an hour. Um, each time that you do this practice, each time that you do any kind of meditation, it's good to go in it without any kind of agenda. So even if you come here today with a wish that I really want to relax, you'll probably you have this hope that you'll experience deep relaxation. But it's good to even free ourselves of that craving or wanting, and rather that we're very interested in this possibility of being completely present and giving yourself this time right now. So you could start even seeing it's possible to bring your focus here, bring your complete attention here and now. So let's go ahead and start just with a moment of stillness and meditation. So I'm going to have you just find a seated pose where you can be still and relatively comfortable in your body. So you might close your eyes, maybe adjust your body, and take a few breaths. Take a few deeper breaths here. That Let's see what happens when you take some deeper breaths. And you might see obstacles, like what's weighing on you today. You might even label them. We can recognize that the present moment, the full experience, is more than just your thinking. So if If you tune in and really feel what's happening in your body today, how you feel, what's happening in your belly, how does your gut feel? How have you been treating yourself? Like you've been eating or drinking, and how that has an effect, then it can actually affect your mood. What's the present mood or your attitude right now? So you're looking within with great care. How am I doing right now? You're asking yourself. It's so good to do that. Just checking in with a heartfelt, caring quality towards yourself. Hey, honey, how are you doing? So let's take this whole hour and a half to listen deeply, to let go of needing to accomplish anything. Move into this richness of the stillness through connection. Maybe let your face soften or let your eyes soften. Even that sense of the inside of your mouth really relaxed. I'm putting everything down right now. Hopefully, you have. You've created a beautiful space, even if you're in a small room or somewhere by yourself. And whatever is outside the door, that you're intentionally letting it go. Even understanding, like, if there's other people in your house, that this practice ultimately will deeply benefit you and them. So a lot of times we don't really recognize the speed and velocity at which we're living our lives. Give yourself some time to stop. There's even a clarity in the mind, just a deep certainty. I'm completely connected with my life right now. So, this whole class period can be a lot of coming back again and again, just coming back to the present and remind yourself, oh, yeah, I'm giving myself this time, I'm giving myself this healing attention, putting aside all of, the to-do list. Good. And then wherever you're at, you're going to take your hands. We're going to do just a little bit of that touch around your neck and your throat. So bringing your fingertips right above, there's your collarbone, your clavicle. Take your fingertips right above your collarbones and just do a little, it's kind of a little tapping, like a little pressing, releasing. It is not very deep. It's good to sit up as you do this, like really a little lift of your breastbone. And just that little tapping. And bring in space through your mouth and your throat as you're doing this. So, this is for your lymphatic system. Take your fingertips now, just a little sweeping along kind of the sides of the neck. You might use kind of your intuition of maybe a little closer towards your throat and then moving sides of the neck all the way from your ears down the sides of your neck. So this, again, more of a surface kind of sweeping. You might swallow as you do this. Sometimes it just kind of quickly, there's kind of a release or a drainage that happens. And then the back of your neck, just take fingers and just sweep your fingers down the back of your neck. Good. And then drop your arms down and just take your head to side, just a little tilting. You might even kind of open your mouth a little bit, let your jaw move as you're doing this, or really move your jaw around. So you really start to bring awareness internally and bringing some space into your mouth, into your throat, even then around your chest. Now you're going to just reach your arms way out to the sides. And then do a little side to side, like you're just bringing one arm up, switching, bringing your other arm up. And breathe through your nose as you go back and forth. Even close your eyes, moving and breathing. And just stay with this. Again, your own intuition of moving in your own way. And then as you let that go, as you bring your arms down, you are going to just release back. We're going to go right onto your mat and onto your backside. So find your clearing your yoga mat. And when you lay back on your mat, you're going to do the little hug. You're just going to bring knees into your chest and just gently hug your knees in. But even this, you're holding on to your legs like however feels right. And you might notice just that flow, kind of that drainage again. Around your sinuses, nostrils, throat. And then keep your knees where they are, just comfortable. Lift it up a little bit, but reach your arms way out to the side. And take your shoulder blades, pull them under, tuck them under a little bit. And then just breathing here. Lots of space through your throat. And then go ahead and start to reach your legs up. As you reach your legs up, let the legs do a little bicycle motion, like however feels good. Lots of space though in your chest. This is not a strain or stressful. Just more of just reaching the legs straight and bending. And then just bringing the feet right down to your mat, both feet touching. Now go ahead and extend your left leg against the floor. Just reach that left leg straight and feel your right foot pressing straight into the floor. And as you really push your right foot into the floor, let your left buttock just lift up away from your mat. And then the right buttock drops back down. And you're going to just do this little action where you push into your right foot. The right buttock lifts up and then just drops down. Now you're going to keep doing this. It's a very organic, fluid movement. And as you push into the foot, the buttock lifts up. Even let your head naturally kind of roll to the right. And then it rolls back to neutral as you let go. So little wave of movement, really soothing, organic kind of movement. Doing this repeatedly is just that lifting and lowering, keeping your right foot really pressing into the earth. Breathe through your nose. Yeah, and then as you let this go, you're just going to switch sides. So left knee bends, left foot on the floor on the mat, right leg extends out. And as you push straight down into that left foot, you push down so much that your left buttock just lifts up and it lowers down. So breathy kind of organic movement. This really does open up the front of your body. So it's just this kind of space maker that starts to really open up the space and front of your body and abdomen, your chest. When you push into your foot, lifting that left buttock, head rolling, looking to the left a little bit. Good. As you let this go, you're going to bring both knees into the chest again. And this time you're going to lift your head up and make this teeny little ball where you lift your head, bring your knees towards your forehead. You are contracting, kind of squeezing. And then you just let that go. The head drops down. And you're going to do that again. You're just going to lift up in any way, just squeezing and releasing. And doing this several times. Contracting, squeezing, releasing. Keeping your face very soft as you're doing this. Taking one more. Good. As you let this go, just drop your feet right to the floor. And let's just do that little pelvic tilt. So arms drop down, head dropping down here, and just around your navel, contracting your navel. As the navel pulls down, there is a little lift of your tailbone. And then as you let go, you do the opposite. You actually lift your lumbar area. So there's a lumbar curve, like you could slip your hand under your lumbar, your lower back. And then you contract around your navel, pulls down, just squeezing and exhale. And then as you inhale, arching your back. And then as you exhale, a navel pulls down and just do this rocking, pelvic rocking action back and forth, breathing through your nose. So your awareness now moving into your body. Like even if this triggers thinking or thoughts, that you're moving past the thoughts and just right into the feeling of this, all of the sensations. You're fully aware of all is the feeling, the sensing internally, connecting directly with the body. Good. And then just let yourself roll over to one side and come all the way up. But as you come up, you're going to move just to seated for a moment. We're going to do one little fluid twist. So I'm going to take my socks off. It's coming up here. And then just lean back. Take your feet kind of wide apart. And then just drop your knees back and forth. Really loose. Loose. So our practice is this direct sensing and feeling the body. Mindfulness centered on the body. So it's a remembering over and over again, not just a superficial connection, but even feeling like, oh, my toes or my feet. Areas where you typically don't bring your full awareness. We're going to move this into a little twist. So as your knees are going to drop over to your right side, your left hip really lifts up. Lift your chest a little bit and start to twist and rotate back. Find awareness of how this feels today. Breathe into your belly. What's happening? Like each breath you take, there's new sensations that you observe. So keeping this real freshness of attention the whole time. This generous giving of attention to your body. Untwist now, just come back towards the front. Your knees go way up and over to the other side. Really lift that right hip. Lengthen the spine. Twisting. A felt sense of lots of space in the body. Breathe through your nose. Now let's do this actually back and forth. It's a really fluid, almost like a little dance that you're doing. Twisting to the other side, lightly, kind of gracefully into your twist. And you'll feel then where there's that maximum twist, and then you just let go and you go to the other side. Really pretty simple movement. But there can be just such a beautiful healing connection and quality of this care that we're giving ourselves. Feel the breath moving, if it makes sense, through your nose, that whole awareness of the stream of breath moving into the body. How each breath is like life giving, a receiving of energy. Doing this a couple more times, it's like our relaxation practice is already beginning. Can you keep your face really soft, your lips really soft as you're doing this? So awareness stays. You're sustaining that awareness. Your airways staying really open. Now, as you release, as you let this go, you're just going to face the front. And I'm going to have you access one of your feet. So you might extend your left leg out and just hoist that right foot up here. We're just going to do a little bit of a foot massage. Start by just spreading your toes, taking your toes kind of open apart. Maybe pull your toes a little bit, like give them a stretch. And then just taking your thumbs and right below your toes, just pressing, just giving just that right foot massage. You might close your eyes and breathe as you do this. So deep sensitivity of your foot receiving this massage. Start to move your thumbs down towards the arch of your foot. Feeling just, that just the right pressure moving into the arch of the foot here. Down towards your heel. The heel has more of the heavy padding. Gentle pressing. Just moving back up towards the toes. And as you work up towards the toes, just take the toes themselves and kind of spread them and just fold the toes back and forth. Exploring just, that opening, spreading, and that just the flexibility of the toes. Manual back and forth. Good. And then just a big foot massage, just squeezing your whole foot any way, and then letting go. We're going to move to the other foot. So that right leg extends, the left foot comes up, starting with your toes. Just that kind of spreading the toes apart. So we have this real direct connection with an area of the body that's really kind of far away. And we might not, really connect so directly with our feet. And that's why we're doing this, to have this this such direct care, compassion, and then the massage right below the toes, right at the ball of your foot. Follow your intuition here as the thumbs start to move down, just pressing as deep tissue as you want to move into your foot. Pressing. All the way towards your heel. Just giving this attention. Like that question, honey, how are you doing? How are my feet doing? Moving the thumbs back up towards the toes. Big massage. And then the toes, you just start to fold them back and forth. Moving, getting that mobility back into the toes. Good. As you let that go, we're just going to lean back and actually hold your thighs. Lean back, lift your feet a little bit, and then just rotate your feet around, getting your ankles moving. Toes might move a little bit as you're doing this. Just roll them around both directions, moving. Ah. Good. And then as the feet come down, you're just going to take your legs wide apart here. And let's just get into the legs. Where your right leg, you're just going to take your hands and just press on your leg, reaching down towards your foot. This is just any way, just that pressing. Maybe a little squeeze of your legs, the calf behind your knee, sides of the knee. Breathe as you're doing this. Even just the friction here, more of like just that skin level, up and down the leg, anyway. Good. Let's go to the left leg and press as you reach down towards your foot. Pressing again, the kind of squeezing here. Behind the calf, the back of your knee, sides of the knee. Really sustain your full presence here. This is a big part of our relaxation practice, is to see how the mind can get really jumpy and just wants to do something else. This is our practice. Be right here. Okay, let's go ahead and move right on to all fours. So as you move on to all fours, we'll do our movement of cat and cow. This you might start kind of small, knowingly, intentionally, that little wave of movement through the spine, back and forth. From the tip of your tailbone. So the tailbone is scooping under, and then it's untucking, and you're just letting this go back and forth. So I'm going to have you close your eyes as you're doing this. Intentionally breathe through your nose. Maybe slow this down so that when you go to your cat pose, there's that full exhale, squeezing out as you go to your cat. And then you drink in that inhale as you go to cow. And you just do this back and forth. Pay attention to your spine, because your spine now is doing this fluid movement that we don't do a lot. We typically don't give a lot of time, really focused time, for this full mobility of your spine. Every vertebra involved with this. Giving the spine some time. Good. And then as you release this, you're going to tuck your toes under as best you can. Start to sit back to child pose with your toes tucked under. We're getting a really deep toe stretch here. And then as you start to come up, you just go right to your down dog. Lift your hips way up. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms. And reach your heels down. Let this go through a plank pose. So let your feet move back, long plank pose, and then your knees touch down and you go back to your child pose. Let's just let this move through this a few times. You come up, you go back to your down dog. Breathe, and then plank. Knees lightly touch down, your child pose. You come up. You just let this continue to move through these 3 poses. Feeling the body, even listen, just listen to your breath. So you can listen to the sound of your breathing and steady your breath. So you could choose to steady this full inhale, your full exhale. Feel the earth, feeling like the hands, the knees, the feet as they touch the floor. Push into the earth. Really get that grounded sense. Connecting to the earth. Next time you're in down dog, you're going to move to a standing pose. Coming up to standing and just taking the feet parallel and the arms just slightly rotate so palms are forward. Rounding your heels. And just sense the shoulder blades pressing on the back. Lightness around the chest and your throat. So as you bring awareness to the throat, you might notice that it makes a difference. Like, oh, I didn't notice that I had some tension in my throat or my mouth. But as you bring awareness there, you can choose to soften your throat and your mouth. And then just doing a kind of a marching action here. I'm just going to move on to my rug and just do loose arms. However you want, how high you want to lift your knees, but just getting into just the energy that starts to move as you do this. And how you can bring a strength through your spine in order to keep that light-hearted feeling And make sure then that your throat and your mouth are really nice and open, and that when you breathe through your nose, you can actually sense the space in all of your airways that you're aligning. So breath can really flow here. Even just like your shoulders are enjoying this movement. You can sense that connection to the earth, grounding. Good. And then pause. And now just again, kind of a fluid movement of our forward bend. Big sweeping. Inhale, arms up. And then just exhale, fold over. The inhale, you come up. You just reach the arms up. And the exhale, you fold over. You can do this any way that you want to. How the arms move, but get a sense through your feet, through the soles of your feet, that you're pushing straight down and you're grounded. You're kind of rooted down here. Stay connected and really sensing both that how this brings more of the loose mobility into the joints, but also strength. Movement through the spine. Drinking in the breath through your nose. Take two more of these. And staying up, we'll just bring the arms down, pause. So you're going to move towards, we'll just say the back of your mat. We're going to do some walking practice for your feet and your ankles. So the first way that we're going to walk is you're going to lift your heels up and walk on the balls of your feet. So you might bring the arms out to the side a little bit, kind of for balance here. And as you lift your heels, you're going to start to walk just on the balls of your feet with your heels lifted. Little teeny steps towards the front of your mat. And then you got to turn around, keeping that weight on the balls of the feet as you walk back. And right back where you started. So now we're going to do the opposite. You're going to walk on your heels. So you're going to lift the balls of your feet. And again, just little steps. Lifting the front of the feet. You're on your heels. Keep a little lift of the chest. And the throat is really open. You know, your airways are really open. You're breathing. As you're doing this, little steps, you turn around, you go back where you came from. Good. And now we're going to walk on the outer edges of the feet. So I'm going to really lift the inner arches of my feet and kind of roll through edges of your feet as you're walking, little steps. Pay attention to that throat, mouth area, really soft. Even your shoulders, notice like if you get that little shoulder grip. So big part of our practice to again and again notice like, where am I tensing? But with that beautiful heartfelt quality, like, honey, you can just let go of that tension right now. So as you get back where you came from, yes, we are going to now lift the outer edges of our feet. You're going to walk on the inner feet. Inner space. Breathing, kind of staying tall. You don't want to get your shoulders lifted. Good. As you're back where you came from, you're going to take yourself to a forward bend. Just fold forward. All the way over. Let your head drop down. Breathing. Give the body some time here to drape over, and you might lift your toes up as you're here. Just getting a little foot toe attention today. You practice really wiggling your toes. And then start to walk your hands forward towards downward facing dog. Good. And then lightly touch your knees down. And as you touch your knees down, you're right on all fours. Now we're going to do that little cat and cow action, but we're going to do it with that leg movement. So you're going to reach your right leg way back. Hands, give hands space apart so your chest can really reach forward. Face is relaxed, eyes are very calm here. Now, as you exhale, you're going to lift your navel up and just squeeze and draw your knee towards your forehead. Squeeze and inhale, leg goes back, chest forward. As you exhale, the squeezing, lift your navel, pulling. And that inhale, leg goes back. And just do this back and forth. There's no tension. There's a lot of strength and movement here, but there's this fluid, easeful quality. Switch legs. Right knee comes down, that left leg goes back. Back and forth. Like even your toes could spread and open. You don't need to tense your toes. Face is really relaxed. So you could sense that inner space. Around your chest, your lungs. Good. That left knee is going to come down. You're going to go right onto your belly. So on your belly, you can keep hands on either side of your chest. Your legs will reach back. and in your own way, your cobra pose, and then releasing your cobra pose. Drop the head. And then you just lift again. So we do this repetition, lifting and lowering. And you can keep your shoulders back the whole time. And just feel your whole spine here. Keeping your pubic bone really grounded. Good. Next time the head comes down, you're going to take your hands forward and stack your hands. So we'll just work on the legs next. You're going to take your forehead down on your hands, and then the legs are going to just lift one at a time. So right leg lifting and lowering, left leg lifting and lowering, and just go back and forth. We focus on the leg straightening. The leg that's lifting is working to straighten. Like you're lifting your leg right from the joint, that hip joint. Good. And then as you let this go, the hands will slide back and you're going to lift up and back to child pose. So open your knees a little wider apart. Sit back to your heels, fold forward. As you come up, grab a blanket. We're going to go ahead and recline on the back side and prepare for our relaxation. So I'm going to suggest, this is just my suggestions here. You do want the floor to be really soft. Like I'm on a rug and then I have a mat. And you can also use a blanket. You can bring in some kind of blanket to put over your mat. Even the process of setting up for relaxation can really reflect how your body is feeling. If it feels like your lower back is um, aching, let's say you've been sitting a lot lately, you might want to use some blankets and make like a great big roll. So this is a real, kind of like a bolster. If you have a bolster, you could use that. But with a big roll like this, then I can really get that nice draping my legs over that roll. It might feel good to have something under your head. I would suggest a very thin layer under your head, just a little softness under your head, rather than really lifting your head up. It might feel good to put on layer like a sweater or a blanket that really covers you up completely. So please take time, especially if I know I have like a certain way that I like to set up, but I'm always attentive to little teeny quirks that might appear. Shoulder blades tucking under. And once you've found a pose where you can be fairly still, I'm going to have you bring awareness to your breath. I'm going to ask that you just notice like the breath moving through your nose, and even practice a little deeper breath. So you're actually choosing to breathe deeper. Deep inhale, and then just feel the letting go of the exhale. So you're controlling your breath. It's a little longer, a little deeper. So it's like you're kind of working your breath. You might even place your hand on your belly and practice breathing into your hand at your belly. Or maybe it feels good to empty. Like get into that exhale. You're squeezing out. Get into the details of calming, soothing breath. But you're doing this, you're working, you're regulating your breath, drinking in, soaking in the breath, and then squeezing it out. And as you keep doing this, keep your face relaxed. Your face is getting softer and softer. The skin on your whole body is getting softer. Start to let the waves get a little smaller. Start to shorten your breath. And now completely let go of any control of your breath. This is a practice now, not interrupting your breath, yet still watching the waves of your breath. moving into the practice of non-doing, moving into stillness. As you're watching the breath, can you feel where the breath originates? Where does the inhale begin? Can you tell that you're not interrupting the breath now that you're just watching it? We're going to practice now connecting directly to the body. Bring your full awareness, your full attention to your forehead. As you bring your attention to your forehead, what happens? The mind is bright, it's not dull. So the mind notices. As we bring awareness to the body, it's with this beautiful quality, like, honey, how are you doing? Bring awareness to the space around your eyes. If you sense any tension around your eyes, stay there. Bring your full attention in this way, your love, your care, in an understanding way. Yeah, there are a lot of stressors in life right now, but may you be free of tension. Bring awareness to your throat. Really taking time to connect fully and completely the space at your throat. Be aware of your right shoulder. Using your imagination, imagine deep within the shoulder how it feels, all the different muscles, the bones, connective tissues. And then bring awareness to your right elbow. Your full presence, like, How are you, right elbow, right wrist, your presence, your full awareness? Bringing awareness now to your right hand, your right fingers. And aware of your whole right arm. Mind is bright, present, aware of your throat. All the details of your left shoulder, your left elbow, left wrist. Imagine the wrist, all of the little bones. How does the wrist feel? And then as you bring awareness to your left hand, very sensitive area, the left hand, the left fingers, full awareness. And then how you can open up your attention and feel the left arm. And as you bring awareness to your throat now, include your whole neck. Imagine the whole neck now softening, completely drop the weight of your head. If the mind gets dull, disinterested, you might go back to a slightly deeper breath. Oh, there's that energy. Taking a slightly deeper breath, feel your whole body. And bring your awareness right to the space at the center of your chest. Imagine the lungs. Really fill this space. And nestled right in the lungs, your heart. You feel the movement of the lungs as you're breathing, possibly the heart beating. Bring awareness to your upper back. Bring awareness to the middle of your back. Aware of your lower back. Aware of your whole spine, releasing and dropping down to the floor. Mind is clear. I'm practicing letting go. Aware of your belly now. With great care. Like, honey, is there any tension in the belly? Just for right now, you can let go. Practicing softening my belly. And as you soften, release the whole belly, and feel the weight of the legs. Be aware of your right hip, your right knee, right ankle, right foot. And aware of your whole right leg. And then bringing awareness to your left hip, left knee, your left ankle, left foot. And sensing your whole left leg. This wordless awareness. Your attention, this energetic presence. Now aware of your whole body. Aware of your whole body. And how there's no end to this letting go of tension, this softening. Awareness around your eyes again. Soften your eyes. And then bringing awareness to the very tip of your nostrils. And as you bring awareness right there, feel the movement of the breath. The in breath, the out breath. Right at the tip of your nostrils, watching that space. And then bring great awareness to the passageways of the nostrils all the way to your sinuses. Feel the breath sweeping through your nostrils. If you want to, you can take a little deeper breath here. You're smelling a flower, you're just drinking in the breath. And moving awareness deeper into the body, aware of your back body and the whole space of your spine. And imagine that the breath is moving and sweeping through your spine. From the very tip of your base bone or your tailbone, the inhale moves up through your spine, all the way to your brain. And then as you exhale, the breath moves down through your spine to the very tip of your tailbone. Inhale, breath sweeping up to your brain, center of the skull. Exhaling back down. This might be a very swift movement. Sweeping through the spine. Your awareness moving through the space of the spine. As you let go of that technique, aware of your whole body. Stillness. Bring in now the image of a blue sky. Bring in the image of a sunset. The image of a full moon. And imagine now we're just bringing in the image or a memory of sitting in a warm bath, maybe a hot springs or a whirlpool, and bringing in that feeling of warmth, connection with the fluidity of the water, maybe even your favorite lake that you're sitting in. It's that healing quality of water merging with really just deeply sensing the water swirling around you, cleansing, even healing, purifying you. Bring in this image or this memory as vividly as you can. This wordless connection, connection with nature. You're merging with nature. The washing away of any tension. Sweeping away of any burdens. You might stay with this image as you feel your breathing and how every exhale is a letting go. And then returning to the image now of the blue sky. Feel, sense now your whole body. Whole body. So our formal practice has ended, but we move right into our informal practice of living our lives, sensing, just really feeling the impact of our work. So as you're ready, you could, in your own way, start to move or breathe. A little wiggle of your fingers. Sensing how you could do this really seamlessly. It's really like practice hasn't really ended. Just bringing energy back in, moving, bringing just that strength back in, maybe rolling to one side or whatever feels right of your process of coming. You want to come back up to seated. It's good to kind of check in and notice how you feel now and truly realize that if you feel a sense of freedom right now, decrease of stress or suffering or pain, this was really, completely due to this fullness of presence that you've given yourself, practicing wholeheartedly. So as we place palms together in front of the heart, if you want to, you can release and let go of the fruits of our practice. May this peaceful vibration that we've cultivated, may it radiate out from us and may it touch other beings. May we sustain our presence, our attention, our sensitivity. May others benefit. And I'm going to close with the sound of Om. Please join in if you want to. Deep inhale. Deep gratitude. Thank you so much, everyone, for practicing together.